So, Gregory Rodrigues versus Fluffy Anthony Hernandez is a lot closer than people expect. Right now, Fluffy Hernandez is sitting at minus 180, while Rodriguez is sitting at plus 155. As you can see, the Topology votes have it at 55 and 45, and I think they're right. I think this fight is a lot closer than people expect because I know some people have jumped off the Fluffy train after his recent loss, but I know a lot of people are still on Fluffy and they still believe in him. And especially in this matchup, rightfully so, damn. Rightfully so, because of course Rodriguez doesn't have the best gas tank, and that's how Fluffy wins is via gas tank. Now, before we break down this fight, as always, unbiased. I'm going to give you both sides. I'm going to give you the good and the bad of Fluffy, the good and the bad of Rodriguez. Put them together. I'm going to come up with my own conclusion. Use the information I'm going to give you. Come up with your own conclusion, and let me know what you think in the comments. If you ever think I'm being biased or anything, let me know. But for now, we have Fluffy versus RoboCop. 15 and 3 versus 19 and 6. We have a 34-year-old versus a 32-year-old, basically 33. 6'3 versus 6 foot, 75 inches of reach with 75 inches of reach. Okay, so basically identical outside of just a little bit of size on RoboCop. Honestly, a lot of size on RoboCop, and that's about it. Now we're gonna break down Fluffy first. Okay, Fluffy's 15 and 3. He's 32 years old. Fluffy 3-2 to the KO, 9-1 to the submissions. Now, I'm not the biggest Fluffy fan. I honestly don't like either of these fighters. Now, if you look at Fluffy's career in the UFC, he has about three losses, okay? The first one against Marcus Perez, we're not going to count. Who cares about that loss? And then, of course, his Kevin Holland loss, which was a knee to the body. And then his most recent loss to Strickland was also a knee to the body. So with the Strickland loss, what happened was he got a knee to the stomach, and then he was covering the stomach. Strickland landed a few punches to the head. He got hurt and he got dropped. Against Kevin Holland, it was very simple. It was just a straight knee to the body that put him down. Now, let's go over his wins first. Okay, so Anthony Hernandez, how does he win these fights? Anthony Hernandez is not the best striker. He's not even a good striker. He's below good striker. He doesn't have good striking at all. He has good pressure, and that's it. When it comes to the striking realm, anything on the feet, all Anthony Hernandez has is pressure. His grappling. His takedowns are not the best. It's not. His jiu-jitsu is pretty good, but he also doesn't have good control. Now you might be, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Look at his. He went on like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He went on an 8 win streak, dominating people. What are you talking about? That's fair. But let's actually break down some of these wins. Against Roman Delitse, he was hardly getting takedowns. He was hardly getting takedowns. And when he would get a takedown, Roman Delitse would just roll for a leg lock, and Fluffy would just let him back up. It wasn't until after Roman gassed out where he would take Roman down. Roman he just couldn't get back up. Every single time he would stand back up, he would just drag him back down, stand back up, just drag him back down. He doesn't have the best control. Literally all Fluffy did in that fight was round one, he ate a bunch of shots. Round two, he ate a bunch of shots, but then going into the back half of round two, that's when Roman started fighting on the back foot, started landing on Roman because Roman wasn't doing anything, would take him down, land some pot shots, he'd get back up, take him down again, land some pot shots, to the point where Roman just gassed out so badly that he got manhandled with that rear naked choke, which was honestly nasty as fuck. Now, what you have to understand about Fluffy is Fluffy striking is horrible. He pressures fighters, right? So the thing is, this whole narrative, oh, Fluffy's so good, he has such good cardio, he breaks down his opponents, is right, but he breaks down his opponents because he's constantly pressuring them. The second the bell rings, he's already in their face, and for the entire round or entire fight, if the fight is on the feet, Fluffy is always on the front foot. Now, to be a pressure fighter, there's only two ways you could be a pressure fighter. The first way is you're a pressure fighter with head movement and footwork. So you pressure, he throws, you step back, you counter, or he throws, you step back, you turn, and you're back into the pressure. So you don't you're not getting hit as often, right? But you're still keeping the pressure, but you're very in and out, very jittery, so you don't get hit too often. Or you're like Ilya Topuria. You're a pressure fighter with heavy hands, so your opponent respects you, right? So as you're pressuring, he's not just constantly hitting you. As you're pressuring, he respects you, so he's not just wailing off of you. He has to pick his own shots, and that are the only two ways you could be a pressure fighter. However, Anthony Hernandez is neither of the two. All Anthony Hernandez does is move forward. He moves forward and he eats shots. He eats three shots. He throws one back, and then he constantly he's in your face. He's in your face. Against Roman Delitse, that's what he did. He was on Roman Delitse's face since the round started. He would eat four punches and he would throw back two. He would eat four punches and he'd throw back four. He's always in his face. Roman Dolidze, he was able to break him down. Against Brendan Allen, it was just a grappling fest. Who cares about that fight? Against Michel Pereira, this is the same Michel Pereira who lost his last five fucking fights in a row. Michel Pereira, he was losing the first round. He was getting schooled in the first round, and he went 5 rounds with Michel Pereira. He couldn't put away Michel Pereira. And that's crazy because round one Michel Pereira won. Round two it was close. Then he ended up taking him down, and the next 2 rounds he was able to take him down, but he wasn't really able to finish him. The jiu-jitsu wasn't like, if you're competent in the jiu-jitsu world and you are mentally tough enough not to quit, you're able to go the distance with Fluffy. Like, he's not this crazy ground and pound guy. I mean, he has very good ground and pound, but it's not like where he's cutting you up so badly where the doctor has to stop it, the referee has to stop it. Michel Pereira went the distance basically. He got finished with only 2 minutes left. And then, of course, Roman Kopylov. Wow. Roman Kopylov, who is literally notoriously horrible on the ground. You submitted him. Wow. Edmund Sabajian, who has literally 5 submission losses. You finished him. Congratulations. Oh, my God. Wow. Rodolfo Vieira, who gassed out and you choked him out. Congratulations. Like, I look at this resume and pause. Listen, I'm not over here hating. I'm just saying, like, when he fought Sean Strickland, I strictly said I would not take Fluffy Hernandez even if he was minus 110. At the time he was minus 400 or minus 350, and I said if Fluffy Hernandez was minus 110, I wouldn't even take him. I wouldn't take him because Fluffy Hernandez is not a fighter. He's not. He literally fights like a Mexican gangster cholo off the street, and you put him in the cage. That's how he fights like. He moves forward, he gets hit a bunch, you slow down, then he starts taking you down. Now, the first time he fought someone competent, which was Sean Strickland, and let's put aside the fact that it's Sean Strickland, it's the champion, it's that. No, let's put that aside and let's just look strictly on the fight, okay? What happened? What happened? Okay, the fight starts. Immediately, Fluffy is in Sean Strickland's face. He's in his face, eating a shit ton of jabs. But again, what do you notice? Fluffy, he's pressuring you so you could gas out. He's pressuring you so he could land. Why? Because Fluffy has no striking. Fluffy cannot strike at distance. Fluffy cannot go in and out with the striking. If you look at all of his fights, which I just fucking did, the only way Fluffy can strike is if he's in the pocket. And when he's in the pocket, that's it. That's all he can strike. All he could do is fight in the pocket because he's not a competent striker. He's not. Against Sean Strickland, that's exactly what he tried to do. He would try to close the distance, jab, jab, jab. Strickland, the entire fight, fought on the back foot. But he was winning the fight on the back foot because of how hittable Fluffy was. Fluffy literally blocked shots with his fucking forehead. He's moving forward with a double guard, pops his head, jab, jab. And then Fluffy opens up, Strickland would step back, counter him with a few hooks. It's so easy. Fluffy does not have the footwork to be a striker. He's not a striker. He's not good at all. Sean Strickland was piecing him up on the feet. Even in round one, Sean Strickland, Fluffy overthrew himself. He threw over his body. He missed. And then Strickland threw a right hand. He hurt Fluffy in the first round. And Strickland doesn't even fucking punch hard. Nor did he even commit to a hard punch in that sequence. It was just a counter. Without even throwing his body into that punch. It was just his right hand. And he hurt Fluffy. Fluffy smiled and moved back and acknowledged that he got hurt. Round two starts, same thing. Fluffy's moving forward, blocking punches with his head because that's how he fights. He's used to pressuring people, and after round one and round two, they start breaking, and then he takes over by spamming punches, then spamming takedowns, and just spamming ground and pounds, getting on top and beating them ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound. And, against Strickland, that didn't work because in that entire fight, he shot for one takedown. And the one takedown he shot for, it was horrible. It wasn't even a good takedown. Strickland didn't even have to defend it. He was literally against the cage. Strickland just pulled up his right hand, Fluffy's right hand, and Fluffy gave up on the takedown. And after that, the next takedown that he tried was a fake takedown. He faked a takedown, came over with the overhand right, and he never shot another takedown. Why? Because he doesn't have good takedowns. Now, it might look like he has good takedowns against low competition, but against Strickland, it was the shittiest takedown I've seen in my life. Because he knew. There's no point of trying to go for a takedown. I'm not going to fucking get it. He's too fresh. Because Fluffy is so used to fighting people who are susceptible to the ground game. Allen, Michel Pereira, Roman Kopylov. I know Allen's a good grappler, but if you're a better grappler, you're going to win. Allen won around there, by the way. Allen, Michel Pereira, Roman Kopylov, Edmund Shabazian. Okay, erase Allen. Michel Pereira, Roman Kopylov, Edmund Shabazian. All people who their weakness is the ground game. Now, what happens when the ground game is not your weakness? Well, we just saw someone like Strickland popped up so many times. Round three starts, same thing. Fluffy's running into punches, eating a bunch of punches. And then what does Strickland do? Because again, what does Fluffy do? He closes the distance, and once Fluffy is in he likes the dirty boxing range. Fluffy likes to be in a dirty boxing range. So the second he closed the distance and he was in the dirty boxing range, Fluffy starts throwing uppercuts and hooks. And what did Sean Strickland do? He threw a knee. And it's funny because I gotta answer. Just joined the Discord. Is the only VIP bets on here the 10-year max bet, or there are other ones for the card? Um, I lost the trail of my thought. And then in that sequence, Sean Strickland threw a knee because if you're in dirty boxing range, that's the best range for elbows, uppercuts, and knees. And Sean Strickland threw a knee. And it's what's crazy to me is the fact that the knee he threw wasn't even a hard knee. It's not like he fucking grabbed him, put him in the Muay Thai plump, stepped back, put his leg back, and then lunged himself into a hard knee. And like you heard him say "oof" or "oots," and he was breathing out to the knee. That's not what he did. He literally just brought up his knee. You know, it's like a point fighting. When you're in the clinch, he throws a knee. You're like, "Fuck, I gotta get the knee back," and then you throw a knee. You threw a knee after that, and it's not like you're committing to the knee. Sean Strickland didn't even commit to the knee, and Fluffy got hurt to the stomach. And then when Fluffy went to the cage, he was so hurt to the stomach that he brought both of his arms down to his stomach, and he was covering it. And then Sean Strickland threw a few punches to the head and fucking hurt him again, and he dropped. And it's like, again, the point what I'm trying to say is Fluffy, to beat Fluffy, it's very simple, right? It's very simple. You have to beat him in the first two rounds, right? Because if you don't beat him in the first two rounds, he's gonna win round three, four, and five. Unless if you also have good cardio, but I mean, outside of Sean Strickland, who else has good cardio? I mean, there's actually a few. Like Imavov would beat the shit out of Fluffy. Um, I think that's it, right? Imavov, Sean Strickland, DDP would beat the shit out of him, and that might be it. But I can't. I don't remember. Anyways, now I mean, the pros of Fluffy, we all know what his pros are. It's his cardio and his grappling and stuff like that. But like at the highest level, it's not gonna work. Like again, notice that at the lowest level it worked, right? Edmund Sherbazian, Kopylov, Michel Pereira, Allen, Old and Wash, Roman Dolidze. It's been working. But at the highest level of fighters, it's not gonna work. In this fight, it can work because let's not forget, RoboCop only has 2 rounds of cardio. If RoboCop fights in a 3-round fight, example, when RoboCop fought Roman Kopylov, he won round one, he won round two, and round three he gave up. Like round three, he didn't even try to win because he was so gassed. RoboCop loses any 5-round fight that goes to the distance. RoboCop will lose. If it's a 3-round fight, RoboCop usually wins round one and two, and then three he loses. And in a 5-round fight, well, we haven't seen him in a 5, or we have once, but if he fights in a 5-round fight, he's gonna lose because he doesn't have the cardio for round three, round four, round five. He doesn't. So in this fight, it's very simple. Anthony Hernandez, it's very simple, but he's not gonna do it. All Anthony Hernandez has to do is fight smart. He has to pressure without getting hit, which is how you pressure, you step back. You pressure, you eat a few shots, you throw a few shots, then you step back. You keep that karate range in between yourself. But Fluffy doesn't do that. And we all know that UFC fighters are the dumbest people in the world, and especially at 32 years old, you're not going to teach a new trick. Pause. Stop. Reverse. You're not going to teach a old dog new tricks. At 32 years old or 33 years old, Fluffy's not going to learn how to strike. Fluffy's going to go in there and fight how he always fights. He's going to go in there and put the pressure on Rodrigues. He's going to pressure him till he breaks, and then he's going to take over rounds 3, 4, and 5. That's what he's going to do. But the question is, can he do that? Well, let's go to Gregory Rodrigues and check it out. Now, Gregory Rodrigues, okay, he has 11 knockout wins with 4 knockout losses, but it's really not 4 knockout losses. So, and I'll tell you why. He got knocked out by Bruno Ferreira, which is yes. He got knocked out by Jordan Williams. That's the GOAT, Jordan Williams. And then one time against Bruno Lopez. Which Bruno Lopez is this? It's this Bruno Lopez? No! That's crazy. Holy shit, the same Bruno Lopez. Anyways. And then his most recent one, which we're going to break against Jared Cannonier. Now, It's very simple. Gregory Rodrigues is a BJJ nerd who fell in love with his hands, but rightfully so. If you're able to hit as hard as Gregory Rodrigues, anyone would fall in love with their hands. Okay, Gregory Rodrigues doesn't offensively grapple. I think the only time that he did was against CLD. Now, I want to make it clear: Gregory Rodrigues only has 2 rounds of cardio. If Gregory Rodrigues does not get Fluffy Hernandez out of this fight in 2 rounds, he's going to lose the fight, okay? And it's going to be a generational live bet opportunity. Gregory Rodrigues against Bruno Ferreira knocked him out in under 2 minutes. Why? Bruno Ferreira was pressuring him. Gregory Rodrigues could fight on the back foot. Just countered him. Right hand down the pipe. Not even a counter, just a straight right. Knocked him out cold. Against Roman Kopylov, he went to a decision. But rightfully so. It's Roman Kopylov. Roman Kopylov fights like a karate person. He fights. I mean, he is technically. He comes from like that karate background, but when you're fighting someone like Roman Kopylov or somebody like karate, it's very hard to knock them out for 2 reasons. Reason one is they're always fighting at a distance, at a range outside of regular kickboxing range. They're fighting a little longer than that, and two, a lot of these karate people, they're a little pussy, so like they will not engage or throw in the pocket or in a sequence. For example, if RoboCop's throwing, he's not gonna throw as RoboCop's throwing to try to counter him. He's gonna let RoboCop throw and then he's gonna throw. Like he's not gonna throw at the same time. He's not gonna break his rhythm. Like what I'm taught is if someone's throwing a combination, I'm gonna break their combination. I'm gonna counter as they're countering. I'm not gonna let you get the entire combination off. But that's not how a lot of these fighters fight. They fight very safe. For example, Puliev, right? I bet Puliev to win a decision against Atiba because I knew he fights on the back foot. He fights while circling. He'd rather lose a decision than lose a knockout. And that's exactly what Roman did in this fight. Roman got hurt in round 1. Roman got hurt in round 2. And he just kept on circling and fighting at distance because he doesn't want to get knocked out. But again, Rodrigues hurt him in round 1. Rodrigues hurt him in round 2. And in round 3 he lost because he gassed out. Jack Hermanson, it's fucking Hermanson. He's garbage. Jared Cannonier. Now this is where it gets interesting because in round 1, he hurt Jared Cannonier very badly. He hurt him very badly. He knocked him down. He was basically almost finished. But then again, listen, we see this all the time where someone gets basically when someone basically hurts someone so bad that you could literally stop the fight there, and they think that they have the finish, and they don't get the finish, and then boom, the adrenaline dumps. We've seen this like time after time. We see this happen all the time. And some fuckery always happens where someone almost gets the finish and they think they get the finish, so they empty out the gas tank and then they don't get the finish, and then their adrenaline stops and then their cardio goes to 0. And on top of cardio going to 0, Rodrigues already doesn't have cardio, so it's negative cardio. And then what happens? He slows down. And then Jared Cannonier, he's still there in his face because again, Jared Cannonier is one of the toughest guys, eh? You saw his last fight against CLD. CLD went to a decision with him. It's so hard to finish Jared Cannonier. Even his loss, his KO loss or his TKO loss against Imavov, he was still in that fight. It was an early stoppage. It's very hard to knock out Cannonier. And then Cannonier came back and Rodrigues gassed out. Right? So the thing about this fight is, a lot of you guys are going to say, well, it's a very easy fight. You know, Rodrigues, all he has to do is throw body shots and body kicks. But if I'm not mistaken, Rodrigues is an orthodox fighter. And it's going to be orthodox versus orthodox, and the kick's not going to be there. Oh, but Rodrigues could just throw a switch kick. Yeah, no. I mean, when has Rodrigues thrown a switch kick? I would love for him to throw a switch kick. Let me actually double check this as we are here right now. I actually want to double check this. I was literally just watching him 2 seconds ago. What is his name? Gregory Rodrigues. Let me see. He's an orthodox fighter, right? I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah, he's an orthodox fighter. Yeah, so from what I've seen in his entire tape study he's never thrown a switch kick. I mean, if he does, that's nice because we've seen that Fluffy is weak to the body. If Rodrigues lands a few body shots and then a few left switch kicks, what did we saw Fluffy do? The second he got hurt to the stomach, he brought his hands down to protect his stomach. And then what did Sean Strickland do? He went to the head and got the knockout. So if Rodrigues is smart, throw a few switch kicks, throw a few body shots, his hands are going to come down, boom, knock him out. But we all know Rodrigues is not smart. So knowing that, let's assume Rodrigues is not going to throw body shots or switch kicks because he's not going to throw a switch kick. He's too big. With the way this matchup is, we have to understand Gregory Rodrigues punches hard. he punches a little too hard. And Rodrigues has low output because of that. Rodrigues has low output because he throws everything at 100%. And when you throw everything at 100%, you have to pick your shots or else you're going to gas out. We know Rodrigues already gasses out, so he's going to gas out a lot sooner. So to avoid that, he picks his shots. But to be honest, Rodrigues does pick his shots quite well. We've seen him. You have to understand. Do you know how hard it is? Do you know how hard it is to catch Roman Kopylov once, let alone twice, because of how he's constantly moving? Kopylov is constantly moving. It's hard to catch him. He's fast. And Rodrigues caught him twice. Fluffy is the opposite of Kopylov. Fluffy does not fucking move. Fluffy is literally in front of you, asking to get hit. I'm telling you right now, Fluffy is not going to move. Fluffy's going to do the same bullshit that he does in every single one of his fights. He's going to move forward and he's going to walk into Rodrigues' punches because that's all he does. We cannot expect these fighters to be different. We just fucking saw Joel Alvarez do the same dumb shit last week. We said, if this is a striking match, Cheetah's going to win. But because Joel is such a good grappler, all he needs is one takedown and the fight is over. And he knows that himself. And this dumb motherfucker lost the fight. Lost his win bonus, lost his finish bonus because he didn't want to grapple. He didn't even shoot one single takedown. And again, he knows that if I submit him, it's the easiest win. But yet, he still went in there and did the same bullshit because these UFC fighters do the same thing over and over. So in this fight, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to expect Fluffy to do the same shit. What does Fluffy do? He moves forward with no footwork. He moves forward with no head movement. He blocks punches with his head. He moves forward and he eats shots so you could gas out. But the problem is, you can't do that against RoboCop. RoboCop is knocking people out who have great footwork. RoboCop is catching people who are hard to be caught because they're constantly moving, constantly head movement, constantly footwork. What the fuck's gonna happen when a motherfucker is moving into RoboCop's punches with no head movement, with no footwork? He's going to be in the pocket with RoboCop, and he's going to walk into the punches of RoboCop, which is going to cause a bigger impact, a bigger force, which will be easier to knock him out. Fluffy is literally going to walk into his punches. I'm telling you, Fluffy's just going to give him a free fucking knockout on a silver platter. He's going to walk to Rodrigues. Rodrigues is going to be like, what the fuck? I'm just going to punch through your fucking guard. And I'm telling you, I know Fluffy has only been knocked out twice. He's fucking chinny. He's not a man. He's not going to eat punches as well as you think. He did not eat the punches of Sean Strickland well. I'm telling you right now, he's not going to eat the punches of Rodrigues well. He's never been hit by someone like Rodrigues. He's so used to dominating fuckers. The second he feels Rodrigues' power, he's going to panic. I'm telling you. I saw it in his face in his last fight against Strickland. He's a pussy. He didn't like to be hit. He doesn't like to get hit. Listen, tell me this. Some of you say, oh, I'm too rough and too harsh on these fighters. When the fuck was the last time in MMA that a high level, a top 5 ranked fighter in any division from 125 to I don't know, 185 got finished via body shot? I don't fucking remember because it doesn't happen. The highest level of fighters do not get knocked out via body shot. It rarely happens. And Fluffy gave up. I'm telling you, he's not a good fighter. In this fight, he's going to walk forward. He's going to give the easiest fucking punches to Rodrigues. He's going to give Rodrigues the win. It comes down to, can Rodrigues capitalize on this opportunity? Because Fluff is going to move forward and he's just going to give what I'm trying to say is he's going to move forward, not move his head. He's going to give Rodrigues the punches that he needs to put him away. And Rodrigues is going to hurt him. And I think that Rodrigues can put him out because I don't think Fluffy is tough enough. I really don't. Rodrigues is going to knock him out. That's what I expect to happen. I think Fluffy's going to move forward. He's going to get hit. He's going to get put away. He's not going to be able to take down Rodrigues. And if he does take down Rodrigues, all Rodrigues has to do is go for the heel hook, which he already does, and then Fluffy will let him back up. I think in 2 rounds, I think Fluffy, he's not going to be able to take the shots because this is not Sean Strickland where you're pushing forward and Sean Strickland just jabs you a few times. You push forward, Rodrigues is going to plant down and throw a right cross, left hook. He's going to throw power shots, everything with power, and you're going to get knocked out. But this is very simple. Rodrigues is an underdog, plus 155, plus 160. Rodrigues by knockout is plus 320. Rodrigues round 1 knockout is plus 700. Rodrigues round 2 knockout is plus 1100. It's very simple. I'm going to bet on Rodrigues, and if he doesn't get the knockout in round 2, in the middle of round 2, I'm just going to live bet Fluffy. And I'm telling you right now, Rodrigues will hurt Fluffy. And the second Rodrigues hurts Fluffy, he's going to go from an underdog to minus 600 instantly. Because that's what always happens. When it comes to betting UFC live, it's always about momentum. The odd moves with momentum. In round 1, round 2, Rodrigues is going to have all the momentum. But you have to take but I have to take the other side before the momentum switches. So if I have $1,000 on Rodrigues, as Rodrigues has the momentum, Fluffy's going to be a plus 500 underdog. I'm going to put $200 on Fluffy live. Boom, it's covered. Rodrigues wins, I make 800. Fluffy wins, I get my money back. But as the momentum, if I see Rodrigues slowing down, then I'll put more money on Fluffy at plus 200, plus 100, and I make money that way because it's very simple. Rodrigues either gets the finish in round 1 or round 2, or Fluffy wins the fight in round 3, 4, or 5. Very simple. Because if Rodrigues doesn't get the knockout rounds 1 or 2, Fluffy's going to come back and break him down and win the fight. But honestly, as it stands right now, I think Rodrigues wins. Just because of how hittable Fluffy is, I think Rodrigues will win. If Rodrigues is over here knocking people out who are not hittable, what's going to happen when someone's standing right in front of him asking to be hit? He should get the knockout. This fight is simple. Rodrigues gets the win. If he doesn't get the win, well, but that's fucking Rodrigues' fault. This fight is literally made for him to win. Sit here and watch the tape. How does he not win this? If he loses this fight, he threw it. He's retarded. He's stupid. I don't know why I'm so aggressive or passionate. But anyways, it's very simple. I'm gonna play Rodrigues. I'm gonna play Rodrigues by finish. And then once he gets some momentum, I'm gonna hedge with Fluffy. And then if I see Rodrigues doesn't get the finish by like in the middle of round 2, then I'll switch to Fluffy. So either way, I make money. But realistically, guys, my pick is RoboCop. My pick is RoboCop round 1 or round 2 knockout. It's that simple. And if I'm wrong, I'm quickly switching to Fluffy live because I'm pretty sure he's gonna get hurt. And when he gets hurt, I'm taking those odds instantly. Have a good night.